Look at that. No intro tonight. What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Joined alongside Jacob in Wisconsin. We got Emilio joining us from Tennessee here in a second as we're going to dive into all the Packers news that broke today. Obviously, the Jordan Love surgery caught everybody off guard. You guys know we covered the injury last night on the show. Some folks seem to think, hey, this clickbait, it's not a big deal, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he's having surgery, and looks like they're shooting for him to be fully healthy by week 1. So we'll definitely keep our eye on all of that as the more information unfolds, obviously. So we'll hit that. We'll also give you all the updates from training camp practice number 14 as things are getting mad. We're really, really deep into training camp. Obviously, we're going to be going into week 2 of the preseason, then week 3, get a bye, and it's week 1, baby. We're off to the races. So excited to see how this 53-man roster shapes up. Before we dive into all that stuff, do that YouTube stuff for me. Take a quick second. Listen, it's free. It's easy. Hit that like button for us. Hit subscribe. Make sure the bell notification is on. That way you get notified every time we do go live for streams throughout the day. If this is your first time tuning into PTA, thank you for making us a part of your day. If you're looking for daily Packers content, this is the place for you. We're going to be doing pregame shows, postgame shows, in-depth analysis, film breakdown, the whole 9 yards. Matter of fact, we're going to be doing a film breakdown tomorrow from the Jets game, kind of showing some of the few positives from that game, obviously, as we try to glean a little bit of hope out of a tough loss there in preseason week 1. Jacob, how was your day, bub?
Well, it was pretty good. As we were talking offline, it was definitely a scare. I was at work, looked up at the TV, saw the old ESPN flashing that Jordan Love is recovering from a surgery on his hand, and I literally clutched the pearls, and I almost did the old ass out thing. But obviously, as I got some more information, I'm not saying it's not a big deal, but it definitely was much more of a crisis averted than I originally thought. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was one of those things, too, that when the news broke, it didn't catch me completely off guard. However, the way it was presented was Jordan Love has surgery, and then they went to a commercial break on ESPN. I was like, what in the heck just happened? So I was hoping it was about the thumb. So let's waste no time. Let's dive into that. Obviously, that is the lead story of the day here. Packers injury update. Listen, what I did was just put it in bullet point form, kind of give everybody the overall situation, and then we'll talk about the latest that Tom Silverstein tweeted about. So overall situation, injuries are mounting for the Packers during training camp, forcing the team to adapt and provide opportunities for other players, as stated by head coach Matt LaFleur, who emphasizes the need to navigate thin positions and prepare for the regular season despite key absences. Quarterback injury. Jordan Love underwent surgery on his left thumb on Tuesday. The hope is for him to return to practice next week, but he is unlikely to play in any more preseason games. So, Jacob, it sounds like we'll get into the details of the injury and then the latest update. No practice is coming this week, right? Next week, they're hoping he can practice. I can't imagine they're going to try to get him out there for week 3 in the preseason. It sounds like all reports are they're going to keep him out there. And then the goal is to have him ready for week 1. It's funny, too, because yesterday's practice, as we covered the details of how he played, it sounds like they had him go out there, test the thumb out, see how well it was going to feel, and then be honest with you, he had a pretty damn good day at the office. It sounded like he was pretty accurate. Now, obviously, handing the ball off, taking the snaps, things like that is where it's going to come into play on the non-throwing hand. I like what Drew D says here, get the surgery out of the way. Now, any comments so far before we dive a little deeper into the details here?
I like what Holmes, the resident doc here, is saying. He says it's most likely an injury is a UCL or ACL partial tear, pinned, and should be okay relatively soon. They expect him back next week. Listening to the Goody press conference, it did, obviously there's always going to be some urgency and some drama, worry, whatever word you want to use when it comes to with your starting quarterback. And I think that, nobody could tell you with a straight face that not having him practicing or at least even being around is a good thing. That's just not going to shape up that way. I think we are absolutely very blessed to have a backup like Malik Willis.
Yes.
And the way that he's kind of just immediately walked into that starting role for the time being and just making sure that guys are on the same, just everybody's on the same page, that we're not going to skip a beat, that there's not going to be, during this time. I don't know, dude, I listened to Malik Willis's interview. I didn't realize he's funny. Like he is a funny dude, and he's very good, smart. Good, right? Great personality. He's really good with the interviewers and very humble, but also confident at the same time. But it's a weird. I actually wrote down. Just he's very funny. I think he's legitimately maybe the best backup in the NFL right now. And listening to Josh Jacobs talk about what he's seen for him so far, Josh Jacobs basically said there's no reason that this dude shouldn't be a starting quarterback out of 32 teams that are in this NFL. So it's pretty cool that we have that luxury. Oh, sorry, man. We have that luxury to be able to basically not skip a beat. If you listen to a certain segment of the Packers fans, heck, they think Malik Willis should be the starter, which don't get me started on that. But
yeah, no doubt. Aaron Rodgers, our Aaron Rodgers, not the Aaron Rodgers, with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, hey, fellas and chat, need your positive vibes. Tomorrow I'm going for the sports editor football for my student paper at my college. Hey, you're going to crush it, dude. I'm just telling you right now, man. You're one of my favorite follows on Twitter. I love our interactions in the DMs. You're going to crush it, dude. You've got a heart for the sport. You got a heart for the profession. And you correct me if I'm wrong in the chat there. And I think he said he's going to end. Maybe you don't want me to tell this. He's going to be going to school unless he's already there cross country. I shouldn't even mention. Anyway, you're going to do great, dude. You're going to crush this thing, man. There's no doubt in my mind. But we're sending positive vibes. You guys know I'm a prayer. I'll send a little prayer out tonight. Say, man, calm the nerves. Go out there and excuse my language. Go out there and kick its ass, man. You know what I mean? Take care of business. So there you go. We got another super chat here. This one coming in from Brent in Indiana. Thank you so much, Brent. He said a lot of money on the sidelines, not counting Tim. It's a great point, Brent. Great point. But at the same time, you're trying to set yourself up for the best possible roster in week one. The receiver room, I guess I'm a little twisted. And we'll get back to the Jordan Love, the details of the Jordan Love injury here and the surgery and everything. But maybe I'm a little twisted in the head, but I always try to find the positive, like immediately. And I'm thinking, boys, we're going to see Matthew Golden. We're going to see Savion Williams, some of these young guys. The guys are going to be battling for the practice squad spots and all that. You'll see them more if Romeo misses time with his little nick up today. Obviously, Dontavion Wicks has already been out. Christian Watson probably going to start the season on the pup. Feel comfortable saying that. But I understand what you're saying too, Brent. I appreciate the super chat, bub. Back to the injury details. It occurred when Love tried to I didn't want to give the information out or not, buddy. Aaron here, been a member for 3 months, says, I will attend ASU for sports journalism. Thank you. Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, you're going to do great. You're going to do absolutely awesome. We need more people like you in sports journalism. So the injury occurred when Love tried to split Jets defenders on a third down sack. His thumb collided with a Jets player's helmet. All right. The injury type is a ligament issue in the left thumb. Obviously, our resident doc there, MD Holmes, MD1, I should say, he kind of gave probably a little more detail into what that probably is, but it's not a break. So it's not a bone break. It's a ligament issue. Love practiced on Monday post-injury, performed sharply, but handed off the ball in an unconventional way to protect the thumb. Coach Matt LaFleur noted Love, quote, powered through Monday's practice as well, or practice well, I should say. So it's obvious that the goal there at that practice was, hey, let's go out there and test it out. Is this something that we need to get surgery on? And they determined, hey, let's go ahead and get it over with. So I think it's a good move for sure. Now, the surgery decision, Packers GM Brian Gutekunst announced surgery on Love's injured left thumb before Tuesday's practice. Surgery scheduled for Tuesday morning, obviously this morning. The reason for the surgery, after exploring options, it was deemed the best for the fastest recovery and optimal feel. Love tested functionality in Monday's practice after deciding, and then Gutekunst said Love could function without it, but surgery ensures quicker, better return. Now, the most recent information, Tom Silverstein put a tweet out just a couple hours ago, said a source said that quarterback Jordan Love's surgery went, quote, perfect. The Packers are hopeful he can do some things in practice next week, but his first game action won't be until the regular season opener. So, Tim, you just chime in. I was going to go to you next, bub, but if you're busy, you do your thing. When you get ready, just jump in here and we'll cut right to you. So, again, I think this is great news, Jacob, that the fact that I think he's going to be ready for week one, just like Nate Hobbs is going to be ready for week one, just like Xavier McKinney's going to be ready for week one. So, going back to the super chat there from our buddy Brent in Indiana, I understand, right? A lot of money on the sidelines. However, they're being extra cautious too. Let's keep those. I would rather be on the sidelines now than week one, if that makes sense. But what's your all?
Yeah, we remember last year, right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like let's err on the side of caution. Where we got a couple games left in the preseason. There's plenty of time for him to get back right. Let's not rush it.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Your Chris Casuin says confident, big Williski starting week 1, not scared. So I don't know if he's saying he's confident he's going to be starting in week 1, Wilson, or if he's saying he's confident if Wilson is the starter in week 1, so he's not scared.
You're talking Willis, Malik.
Right. He says Williski. I don't know if he was, these cats in the chat, man, they like to put a spin on stuff. They know I've got the IQ of a damn gnat, so they like to, bend me.
I like the sentiment, though, right? Like, I like the sentiment. Like, if it's J Money week 1, we're good. Obviously, if it's Malik Willis week 1, we're good. Obviously, we're still going to boat race Detroit at Lambeau. Not worried. I love it.
Yeah. All right. So just kind of going through the other notes, and I put this article up for everybody. Guys, there's going to be a full injury breakdown, the wide receivers, depth challenges, all that stuff. So you guys go check it out in our Patreon group. I just wanted to hit on the Jordan Love information. We got Emilio joining us now. Let's get his take real quick. Emilio, I don't know how much you've heard about the Jordan Love surgery earlier today, but it sounds like the surgery, according to Tom Silverstein, went perfect. He's good to go. It sounds like he'll be back most likely for week 1. He'll be ready to go, but they do not plan on playing him the rest of the preseason so he can heal him.
Yeah, love to see that. I think that it was Matt was talking about, hey, the surgery's probably going on right now during the presser. Glad that it went well. And just, things happen in football. I'm not mad at Jordan or anything like that. Let's keep it moving, keep going. And you just kind of have that mentality that Malik does. It's tough that veterans are on the sideline, but, they're veterans. Everybody knows what they got to do to keep moving forward. I'm worried about the 11 on the field with me right now to keep this team going. And I think that's just kind of how we got to approach it. Totally fine with having J Love back. And, I'm glad that we got him out there. Obviously sucks that he got hurt, but it's at some point he's going to play football. You could have a freak thing happen at any point in time during the season. It just happened that it happened week 1 in the preseason. Fine, let's get it out of the way, keep moving.
Yeah. All right. So other news that broke earlier today, the Packers have waived/injured running back Jalen White. Okay, so Jalen White has been waived. I don't know if you guys seen this news break before we get into the practice details. Matt Schneider put a tweet out from Elite Loyalty Sports. I'm sure that's the agency. Izzy Abanaconda dealing with a hamstring injury, and Emmanuel Wilson and Marshawn Lloyd working their way back from injury. So he quote tweeted the agency that said TDP to Green Bay, excited to announce running back Tyrion, I hope I'm saying that right, Tyrion Davis Price is signing with the Green Bay Packers. I want to say he came from the San Francisco 49ers, maybe, if I heard correctly. So that's going to be obviously a replacement there for White, and as they try to get Emmanuel Wilson, Marshawn Lloyd back into the thick of things, which I feel like we took a huge step forward today with Marshawn Lloyd at practice. But any thoughts on him? Do you guys got any information there you want to hit on? I think we got a video of him here as well. But
I have never heard of him. I'm not going to be lying and fluff anything right here. It's kind of, whatever. I really liked what we saw to Abikonda, and it's difficult. Everybody feels like they're a little banged up right now, but is that him right there? 44. He looks.
I believe that's him. Yeah,
he looks solid, man.
Yeah, he's thick, right? He's thick.
He's thick.
Again, he may be. Thank you, Tim. He may be gone, as quick as he showed up, right? Because it did sound like Marshawn Lloyd looked really good today. So here's another one. Blake B in the chat. Appreciate you, buddy. Says Isaiah Dunn also waived/injured. So we kind of talked about that, how some of these guys are, can't make the club in the tub. One injury and it's all right. We got to move on. You haven't shown enough to this point. It's a cold-blooded business. There's no two ways about it. And
the churning is going to keep happening, right, Clay? The bottom of the roster is always going to be moving in season, out of season, whatever.
Yeah, no doubt about it. 6'1", 219, Bates says. That kind of reminds me a little James Stark size. I think James Stark was actually 6'2", though, wasn't he?
Like B says, James
He's wearing
Stark, Najee
James
Davenport.
Stark's number, correct?
40. Yeah. What?
Yep.
Yeah, and Najee Davenport's too. Yeah, as Blake B said. Do you guys remember Najee Davenport by chance?
Dude, that was awesome.
It was so much fun. It's so much fun to watch. It was Najee Davenport and Amon Green in the backfield together, right?
Yeah. He's my favorite random running back other than Sam Congato. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I thought he was so cool when I was a kid. I don't know why I liked him
Didn't
so much.
Najee have the black visor too back in the day?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
He had like 2 sweatbands on the side, gloves, and the black visor. I was like, dude, he's got all the swag I need right there.
Aaron Rodgers with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, only thing that I'm nervous about is that with Love and the receivers out, we might have a slow start, and we know how this team looks when they start slow. I think that is a very, very good, a very fair point. That's the biggest thing that this hurts, in my opinion, guys, is having that extra practice time together, creating that chemistry we talk about, right? Now, listen, I don't think there's any problem there with Love and Dobbs and even Love and Wicks to a certain extent, and Reed. But when you got two, fairly, you got a first-round wide receiver in Matthew Golden, you got a third-round receiver in Savion Williams, you got McCole Hardman coming in, which, by the way, I always called him Mecole Hardman because I thought that was his name. I was the only person on the face of the earth saying it, so I switched it to McCole Hardman, and now I hear Goody today call him Mecole. So I'm like, I don't know what that is. I just can't get ahead here. So how do you guys
know what McCole would say? He would say, I don't care what you call me. Just call me when I'm in the end zone.
Just call me Sid, because that's what I'm going to put on the board right here. You know what I mean?
What
do y'all think about what Aaron said here, though? Are you guys a little concerned with maybe the chemistry there, or do you think we'll be all right there?
I'll be honest. I'm a little bit nervous just of just having the consistency, trying to build up those, just the continuity of the team. That to me does worry me a tidbit. And but again, the Malik Willis interview was really great. What did he say? They asked him, like, what does it mean to the team not having a guy like Jordan just be around? And Malik Willis very confidently said, like, hey, if we lose one guy and that means the whole season's done, or like basically a wash, like we don't deserve to be where we are, kind of thing. And said that basically his job is to just keep the continuity, keep that small increments of kind of making gains throughout the next couple of weeks while maybe he's not there, and that when the time comes for Jordan to come back, like he said, he's still in the meeting rooms, he's still in the working through the mental stuff, and went on to say, like, sometimes the mental stuff is more important than actually being out there physically, especially with some of these vets that have done it for a while and understand the process and all that. So I'm definitely worried. I don't think that anybody would lie and say that maybe they would lie, I guess, but I personally think that it could have been way worse, and we're should be a little more confident, I think, than some of the Packer fans I've seen online right now. So
I guess the only thing I would say in that regard is, when guys go down and you're playing for the guy next to you, everybody steps up. We talk about next man up, step up, these kind of things, right? You see when the twos run against the ones, or you've got the threes against the twos, or, they mix in these personnel during teams, different guys working together, you're kind of setting the tone for if somebody goes down or multiple guys go down, who already has chemistry playing together on that field. And I think when you look at the quarterback room and the wide receiver room, I think we're good either way. I would not panic right now at all. I think it's early enough that we can get past these things. And, for all intents and purposes, we could be firing on all cylinders come week one. Everybody could be coming back for all we know. So I'm not ready to panic just yet, I don't think.
Yeah. 2 over this in the chat says Jordan and Golden already seem to have a connection building. Factor in Dobbs with the Lions question at run defense. Jacobs and our ground game can be used to win week one. That's a great point, especially with their D tackles being injured, right, Emilio? We talked about how Detroit's a little soft up front right now, at least until probably halfway through the season when they start to get some of those guys back. Now, they got Aiden Hutchinson back, don't get me wrong, but I like that. I like what 2 over this is saying here, man. That's that kind of lines up perfectly with the way it's. Let's say worst case scenario, Jordan isn't ready for week one. I don't think that's a bad idea. You march Malik Willis out there, go run heavy like we did, last season for him to win those 3 games when he played a significant role in it, and just turn Josh Jacobs and Emmanuel Wilson loose on that Detroit Lions front would be fun.
Yeah,
worked well for the beginning of last season, Clay. That's what we watched, right? I was excited to go see Jordan Love play in person. Didn't get to see it. Got to see Malik cook and start this running game for the team that I think is kind of relying on it this year. You get Escalade out there, start grading a little bit, man. It'll be over.
Yeah.
Hey, bottom line, we got out of those games with what? A dub. That's all that matters. Get the dub.
Yeah. And listen, there's some people that still think Malik Willis he just kind of won it with his legs. And there were some pretty throws that Malik Willis made. The back shoulder throw to Christian Watson right in front of me, holding my my Captain Morgan slushy. I'm just telling you, man, it was a beautiful throw. Also, he hammered an out route. That's what I looked like in the stands when he connected. He hammered an out route at home. I can't remember. It might have been against the Colts, maybe, an out route to Dontavion Wicks. I mean, right by the fingertips. It was. I remember LaFleur was mocked up for that game. LaFleur said that's a big-time throw right there. So Malik Willis has got a strong arm. I mean, that's why everybody fell in love with him at his pro day, if you guys will remember. So, yeah. Coach Lynn says that would be hard for them to scout against if Willis goes week 1. That's the thing too, Coach, right? Yep. Put yourself in the Detroit Lions' shoes. You're going into week 1, and you don't know if Jordan Love's going to play. Matt LaFleur is not going to probably – I would be surprised if he comes out the week of and goes, Jordan Love's starting. He'll be active. Yeah. He'll be healthy. He won't be on the injured reserve, but he'll be like, yeah, we're working through that. We're working through it. He's not going to let people know that. You know
yeah, and then make him a late scratch and start Malik with a whole different game plan.
You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. If they come in, if you're the Lions and you're going, okay, guys, we need to allocate all the time we possibly can to stopping Green Bay's offense. Do we dive into all the Jordan Love tape, or do we go to that 3-game saturation of Malik Willis from last year? You know what I mean, Jacob? That's like and if whichever one they choose, right? Whichever one they choose, the other one they're going to be, a little less equipped in. And right. If they decide to go 50-50, well, guess what? You lost 50% of your practice time and your focus on one that you may not even know if they're going to play. It's, like the book I read says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. That's going to knock on the confidence a little bit, man, going into that week.
Yeah, definitely. And I thought one of the most telling things was actually Brian Gutekunst was asked about it. I think Tucker Kraft was asked about it. I believe Matt and Malik himself were asked, where do you feel like you are this part of the offseason compared to last? Because if you guys remember, that trade kind of happened a little bit later, didn't actually have a full offseason with the Packers, obviously still a product of Tennessee down there. He says he feels so much more confident, and they highlighted the fact that today he made a couple amazing throws, it sounds like. Throws that were like he just put it on them. Kind of similar to how you highlighted the out route that Matt LaFleur commented on. It sounds like that he made a few throws today that were like pinpoint, accurate, strong, kind of aggressive in certain ways, but very just seems like he's becoming a better pro than I think a lot of people in the league expected him to be at this point in his career.
The other thing nobody's talking about too is he had an entire offseason to truly learn Matt LaFleur's offense. So I think he'll be better equipped this year than he was last year for sure. Here's what Malik Willis had to say.
Can I just add one note real quick before we move on?
Absolutely, man.
I actually saw one of those plays you were talking about, and I'm hoping the chat can help me out. Number 80. You guys know who number 80 is?
I'll find. You want me to cheat?
I need you to, because I'm trying to figure it out because I saw the play.
Number
it used to
80.
be Bo. Bo's not wearing 80 anymore.
I don't see a number 80, Tim.
Uh-oh. It was me, guys. It was me.
Hold on. I know I'm not hallucinating. Hold on. Let's see if we can find it. Who is currently?
Somebody said Nair.
Nair, wide receiver, correct?
Isaiah, right? Yeah.
He's
Isaiah
in my note.
Nair. I saw one of those today right in front of my face, and Malik floated a beautiful, beautiful ball, and Isaiah Nair went up and made a great laid out full prone, made a great catch on the sideline right towards the end of practice, right in front of me. It was amazing. Yeah. So I definitely see that. Don't sleep on Malik Willis and think that he doesn't have a touch with that throwing arm, because he does. He's not just run and gun. He can stand in the pocket and throw a laser or float it in there too.
Yeah, and a little spoiler alert, when we get into the camp practice details today, Bill Huber picked Nair at that play, Tim, that you're talking about, as the play of the day, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, man. So, Epic. The only thing maybe a little bit better was the way the defense ended practice today. I'm sure we'll get to that too. We had a great play from our defense. Got to love it.
Heck yeah. If we miss it, you definitely chime in with it for sure, man.
For sure.
Just real quick, that Natsa Co says, isn't he like 6'4"? I believe he's a full 6'4". I think he's like 212, and he ran a pretty good 40, if I'm not mistaken. Another guy put the Packers here. Look at this. Holy moly. Respect Oranges, sorry. 9.97 RAS and ran a 4.43 40. I mean,
out of Nebraska, baby. Let's go.
All right, here's what Malik Willis had to say. Shout out to Kyle Malzahn on Twitter, at Kyle Malzahn. Packers quarterback Malik Willis spoke to the media after we learned that Jordan Love is going through a procedure on his left thumb. Here's what Malik had to say. This is what Jacob was referring to. I just love the way he answers this question.
No, this team can't handle one person being down for a couple of days, and I think we're in more trouble than, worrying about what I should do. I think that we should be mentally strong enough to go out here and do what we can to execute each play that's called within the timing of the play, within the execution of the play, and just play ball. I mean, it's not a one-person game. It takes all 11 at all times. I know this position that we play gets a lot of, added hype or added pressure, but it's not really about that. It's about going out and playing ball, all 11 working together. No,
love this dude, man. I mean, he's done everything right since day one. The only thing he's done wrong is got drafted by a crappy organization. That's the only thing he's done wrong,
Yeah.
What do you think about it, Emilio?
What were you going to say?
Man, Willie Beeman, baby. Steaming Willie Beeman.
Seriously, dude. And just, I think Jacob hit it earlier, but when they were asking him about Saturday, what happened Saturday?
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, we watched the tape move forward. I love that mentality. Just puts his faith in it and shows up and just plays. I'm glad that we put a little bit of faith in him to give him another opportunity because, the Titans lost something when they got rid of him.
Mm-hmm. No doubt about it. Anything else on Malik Willis, guys, you want to hit on before we dive into the camp notes and details here?
I just real quick, I think it's just a testament. Like you look at a team, obviously our team, the Packers, and having 3 franchise quarterbacks basically in the last 30 years. You look at a team like the Titans, Will Levis, Malik Willis. Now I pray they don't screw up Cam Ward because he seems like a hell of a kid too. I'm really pulling for him. It just is weird that, certain organizations, you can't convince me that if the Packers had a couple of years with each one of those quarterbacks that we wouldn't have got a little bit better production. I mean, obviously we have one with Malik, but I even think that a guy like Levis could have went to Green Bay, sat for a couple of years and actually put a better product on the field. It's a testament to what we've done in the draft room, the development room, and in the community, just having that kind of expectation that when the Packers draft a quarterback, we're going to put effort, time, and let them kind of season, you know what I mean? Really, really kind of like not force them out there before they're ready. I mean, we saw that with Love. We saw it with Rodgers. Favre was a little different story there, but it's just I think that many organizations could take a couple notes from the Packers for sure.
Yeah, big shout out to Goody for fleecing the Titans out of Malik Willis. Thank you very much, Gangster Goot. Love you, brother.
Andy Watkins says, still no on re-signing Malik. Who said no to re-signing Malik?
Who the hell said that?
Yeah, we got criticized for saying I would re-sign him. We were talking about maybe $8 million a year just to have a solid backup, So now if you're saying starter money, no, I don't think we can swing that bill. You know what I mean? Ain't got that good a credit. Yeah. It's something that I think it's valuable, having a backup quarterback. I even said it would take a second-round pick to pry him out away from me. I wouldn't even take a third-rounder for him just to have him for this year, Right. So
Andy says we told him no earlier.
And he wants to stay off the hash, my man. Ain't nobody on this chat said, no, we don't need to sign Malik. We were all on board with re-signing Malik. I'm sure everybody can.
It was probably no for top dollar.
Right.
Harder money. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you're talking $20 million per, which I feel like that's probably the bottom end of starter money, no. Now, if you're saying we said no to choosing Malik over Jordan, yeah, that's a no. That's a no for me. Malik hasn't shown enough to say, yes, he's a better quarterback than Jordan Love.
What's your annual that you'd give him?
Like I said, $8 million is probably where I would peak. There's some teams that are willing to pay $10, $12 million for a backup.
That's what Chase is saying. He's willing to pay 10 a year for Malik. I mean, there is something to be said that I'm not nervous. If he has to play week 1 in a weird way, I mean, my little brother says this all the time. He still wants Jordan as the leader of this team and the starter, but he's like, for whatever reason, he just feels like Malik Willis fits that kind of niche that Matt LaFleur uses him as a very prominent chess piece. He can do just so much that it's hard to. It is intriguing. It's very exciting to know that like if something happens to Love, we still got a gamer, an absolute gamer back there.
Yeah, and I remember too, Emilio, you probably remember this. last year on like Packernet After Dark and the call-in show that Ryan does and everything, there were people calling and go, why doesn't Matt LaFleur call these same plays for Jordan Love? It feels like he gets more creative with Malik Willis. And my answer to that is it's not that he's getting more creative with Malik Willis. It's that these teams don't know how to game plan for Malik Willis.
Right.
The longer he plays, if he were to get 5-6 starts under his belt in a season, you're now going to have to change up what's worked with Malik Willis because teams are going to force you to play left-handed now. You know what I mean? That's just the way it goes.
No, it's exactly it. And I mean, that's where we were lucky. He was still early when we played the Titans. Obviously they had seen him, so it's not like they didn't know who he was, but it's a different quarterback. Matt's approaching it differently. But again, you saw that, was it earlier in practice? Jordan hit him on a read option. Didn't Jordan do a read option? But again, we're adding that in. That was Malik's, go to. What do you feel comfortable with? Hey, can we add that into Jordan's repertoire? I think that's something that you kind of chase down as it comes up. But no, Malik can handle it. Like Jacob said, I'm totally cool with Malik starting and moving forward. It's tough for whoever is going to the game looking to watch Jordan, but the team itself isn't, hindered very much. I think where we're at right now by that.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's dive into it, boys. Packers practice number 14 recap. I was trying to get organized enough to put these on offense and then defense, but it just didn't work out. So they're a little bit scattered. We'll do the best we can. You can find this article along with extra content over in our Patreon group, patreon.com/PackerFan Total Access. It's the best way to support the show. $3 get you access to everything. Also get you entered into the giveaways, which we're going to be doing a drawing this weekend, I should say, for an autographed rookie Dontavion Wicks card. So just another perk to being in the Patreon group as well as a YouTube member if you want to go that route. So here we go. Wes Hawkins, welcome to Packers training camp number 14. New injuries, Jordan Love with the left thumb procedure and running back Izzy Abanikanda with the hammy. All right, so those are the two new ones. Did not participate. You got Zane Anderson, safety with the knee, Xavier McKinney with the calf, Jaden Reed and Dontavion Wicks both out, Reed with the foot, Wicks with the calf. Cornerbacks, Nate Hobbs and Isaiah Dunn, both with the knee. Now, we heard already Isaiah Dunn has been released, right? So he's gone now. Wide receiver Christian Watson with the knee. Defensive end Colin Oliver with the hammy. And offensive line John Williams with the back. I don't know how you guys feel, but it feels like this list is getting shorter to me. Am I the only one that feels like that? Because it was pretty long a few days ago.
I think little by little, guys are getting back, right? Mm-hmm. And key players like, a lot of knees, right? A lot of knees and calf, lower body injuries here. Basically the whole list. I mean, other than John Williams with the back. I mean, you got hammies, knees, calves. So, everybody rehabs differently. Everyone gets back differently. Hopefully we're getting more back than less here down the road. Especially Colin Oliver. We were super, super excited to see him drafted. I really want to see that guy on the field here in the next week or two.
Yeah. Goody was actually right there. Perfect, Jen. He was asked specifically about John Williams and Colin Oliver and said, are these guys basically, is it a scrap year? Is it a redshirt year? Is there any chance? And he specifically said, we want to still have Oliver back, hopefully get him some crucial reps in the last week of preseason. And hopefully he'd be good to go for week one. He basically said that Williams didn't say it, but he kind of acknowledged that, probably not going to be much coming out of John Williams this year, unless something crazy happens in that recovery. But I agree that I would really think that we still could have something with him. It really, how much he'd play, I don't know. Would he be, important to what we're going to try to do in that rotation? I think he still could be. And maybe if he comes along a little slower, it's somebody that towards the end of the year really kind of gives us that, if we happen to make a playoff run and all of a sudden a guy like him, it starts to click, you just add another freaking dog in that edge room. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And what Jen Wright says there, Oliver's hammies making me nervous. Hammies always make me nervous, Tim. They're the weirdest injury, are they not, man? It's like as soon as you think you get it.
Well, hamstring in Green Bay is a trigger word, right? Trigger warning.
Clay Matthews.
Don't say hamstring. We don't want to hear it.
I immediately think of Clay Matthews. Every single training camp there was a hammy.
And that's where Jen's coming from probably, right? Like we've been down this road with so many guys so many times. It's like you hate to hear it. And then you hate to see that it's, week after week after week of rehabbing and trying to get back. But we just have to be patient and not write anybody off at this moment and hope that the hammy gets better. for these guys, right?
Yeah, definitely. All right. Rob Demoski, a couple of guys back in team drills. Rasheed Walker back in team drills, and we got Emmanuel Wilson back. Jordan Morgan still took the first 2 reps at left tackle, and then Walker jumped in with the number 1 offensive line. So there's definitely a battle going on for left tackle. I'm kind of hoping, me personally, that it ends up being Rasheed Walker left tackle, Jordan Morgan right guard. But it looks like there's a legit shot Jordan Morgan could win the left tackle spot, especially after that preseason game. And again, we're going to get into the film breakdown tomorrow. Tim, the joint practice is Thursday, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so tomorrow we'll have a little extra time. We'll do we'll definitely do the film breakdown that we talked about, and then Thursday we'll do our best to. I would love to go live during the joint practice. I don't know if I can make it happen. If I can, we will, but we'll definitely be covering that joint practice for sure.
I'll let you know if the private jet's taking me down to Indy or not. I'll get back to you. I might be in the air.
You want me to get Ed Policy on the line here?
Yeah. See if we can hook it up. I'll meet him at Strabel. We're good.
I could actually sneak into Strabel and take that plane. You know what I mean? But, you never
do
know.
that, you're going to get your ass kicked in that.
Exactly right. So you got to be careful with that stuff. Practice highlights. Jet sweep to Savion Williams gain yards due to Malik Heath's block on Evan Williams. Emilio, you have the floor, sir. Malik Heath.
I'm surprised we didn't hear a water cooler statement there. Yeah, Williams, dig him out. And I like that for Heath, man. He's had a couple, tough couple days with a couple drops here and there. But just get back to it, show him that you can do it. And I get the ball to Savion, man. Get the ball in his hands. That's all you can do.
Yeah, definitely. I just looked in the chat and said somebody got banned in here. He was always on when it's funny, we get the regulars from last year coming back into the chat and they're going, so and so got kicked out.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
That's exactly right. Matt Schneidman, Matthew Golden might have Stickum on his gloves. Guy catches everything. Willis just fired a deep bullet over the middle. Hopper slightly deflected it, and while fully horizontal, but Golden maintained concentration behind to still catch it. Now listen, this next one makes me, I don't know how to feel about it, but it just makes me think that Golden is actually human, okay? Bill Huber, Golden with the drop. This is our 19th practice, 19th overall. When I put 14th in the article, that's the 14th open practice, right?
Right.
19th practice, I believe, including OTAs, and that was the first that I judge as a drop for Matthew Golden. Think about that.
You mean he actually dropped one? Oh, he is human.
Caught him. Just like, yeah, there you go. Thanks.
Get him out of here.
Get out of here.
It's just Blakeby. Dope.
Yeah. All right. Next.
Wait, real quick. That other one that was one more up. Yeah, the one past Hopper. Jacob, was that the one where Malik said that they were asking him questions on it and he rifled it through there and he said he said, I just threw it too hard for him and he just fit it in the little square hole there.
Yeah, it was basically right over Hopper's ear hole. And he said something like, Hopper had great defense, played it well. I just threw it real hard.
And he said, shout out to Matt for coming back to it there too and helping me out. And that's all you need. A quarterback can't do it all.
Yep.
Everybody in the chat, Teeb says, we're doomed. Holmes, fire everyone. Nick McSwain, fire LaFleur. Who opened this higher Barry?
You do that, you're going to get your ass kicked in that.
Yeah, did you see his short comment about, so he had that one that he fired over the middle. I believe it was, like you said, to Golden. And then there's another one, I guess, where he hit Musgrave just perfectly. And they're like, what'd you see on that? Whatever. I don't remember what route it was or anything like that. But all he said, he just smiled. He goes, Luke Musgrave is fast. And he just kind of like fluttered the eyebrows and everybody laughed. And it was like, dude, apparently he was clocked on the sideline today, Luke Musgrave, at 22 miles an hour.
Let's go. Let's go.
Dude, a guy that big.
We got some big speed.
That's right.
Dude, man. Dude. Matt Schneidman, Malik Willis' first pass of 11 on 11 is intercepted by Edgerrin Cooper, deflected a pass near the line of scrimmage, and also came down with it. Edgerrin Cooper continues to have a great
built ass.
It sounds like he's going to pick up right where he left off last year, man. Tim, you've been there. You've seen it firsthand. Cooper doesn't look like that. I mean, listen, it's camp. I got you. But, I've kind of warned, can he live up to the expectations from last year? I mean, that was phenomenal. It sounds like he's on pace too, man.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for if you're looking for a sophomore slump from Edrin Cooper, you're going to be really disappointed because it's not going to happen. I've seen nothing but progress, not regression from him. And again, who am I? I'm just a dude standing on the fence watching practice, but Coop looks really good. It's exciting because he's going to get a full year. You know, remember this time last year, he was missing time. So he's got a full camp under him. He's going to have a full preseason, and he's going to hit the ground running week 1. So looking forward to seeing Edge Coop out there.
Yeah.
All right. Here's a couple rapid fire comments. Runs by Josh Jacobs, stopped by Kenny Clark multiple times, and defensive tackle Devontae White to tackle for a loss. So it sounds like Kenny, correct me if I'm wrong there too, Tim, it sounds like Kenny's having a pretty darn good camp. Sounds like that foot's fully healthy. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Kenny Clark take that step that all four of us, I should say, expected him to last year in this new 4-3 defense. I think you're going to see a lot less touch spine from Kenny this year. And you may see some other guys kind of take on that role, or who knows, man? Maybe Hafley comes out, gets aggressive with the initial game planning, and just turns it loose. You know,
I agree. I think you can see that on some of the tape, whether you're looking at game film from Saturday, or you're looking at just some of the stuff that's kind of came out of training camp. Kenny looks like that foot's not bothering him like it was last year. I mean, we know he hobbled on that thing all year long for us, and we had to listen to people talk about him losing a step. It's like the guy basically played hurt all year last year. So I'm looking forward to seeing a late career resurgence from Kenny Clark, which would be perfect timing for this D-line group, honestly, because if Kenny gets back, I mean, we've already got Rashawn. We're excited about Nas Stackhouse and some of these guys we have in the fold now. I mean, if Kenny steps it up and progresses even this late in his career and gives us that surge, I think we're going to look really good down the stretch.
You know what? That's
need
honestly
a guy like that, man. He's your get off the bus guy, right? Like you would say, Clayton.
Yes,
yep.
Absolutely, man.
That honestly would be a great segment, is if you had to pick one player other than Jordan Love, you know what I mean, that if he has a resurgence type year or just absolutely turns it around, I think that's a good candidate right there, Tim. If Kenny Clark comes out and is an absolute stud, top 3 D tackle, nose tackle, whatever you want to consider him at this point in his career, the amount of impact that could have on this defense, then obviously the team, I think maybe it's quite impactful, I'd argue.
I agree. Yeah. And it's going to help guys like Devontae Wyatt step up. That's
right.
Another guy that we need to have a big year right now.
That would be the one that I would want to take that huge step. Is I would love to see Devontae Wyatt completely just blow Kenny out of the water